All right.
Hello and welcome. Thank you guys so much for joining us today, taking time out of your day to just kind of hear us out. Angie and I are both nurses, and we have both kind of seen a lot of how the traditional medical system works, and both have found a way that we find to be better than, taking medication and giving your power away to physicians. We are our own gurus and our own healers. So, having the right tools in place and the right nutrition, the right mentors around you will empower you to take your health back. So, if that sounds appealing to you at all, you'll probably enjoy the conversation we're going to have today, where we discuss using food as medicine and detoxing the environmental toxins, specifically glyphosate, and detoxing parasites from our body in order to get our cravings under control and start to really become conscious of the way we're living. And the more that you heal, the deeper you go. You can say, like, down the rabbit hole, and learning and just evolving the way that you do things. And you're able to make choices based on what's best for yourself rather than what your appetite is telling you to do. So we like to help people to get into control and to heal themselves, because it happens naturally and organically when we create the right environment for our body to do that. Our body is a self-healing organism. It doesn't need anything other than the right nutrients, and it will function correctly. So we have a guest today who has had an amazing transformation story. I'm really excited to hear her share. And Angie, I don't know if you want to share anything about your background or your story.
Yeah, definitely. I'll share just a little bit. So me and Jenna had met, and between the two of us, as she said, we have over 50 years of nursing experience. What does that mean? We've seen a lot, right? Between the two of us, we've seen a lot of suffering, and we've given a lot of medicines. We put a lot of band-aids on a lot of diagnoses that we get in, right? Whether it's autoimmune disease, gut issues, brain problems, cancer, whatever it is, we put a lot of band-aids on things. And when I learned about detox and, healing your body with the right nutrients, I got really excited about it, because I'm like, all I've done for years is be able to, I've seen so many people suffer, and it's breaking my heart because I know that they could have changed. And I recently this week have talked to 4 people, and it's amazing. You don't realize what people are going through. You really don't. Like when I, ask them, do you have any issues with your health? They were telling me so much stuff, and I was like, holy cow. Like, I've been to the doctor. And then one girl I heard this week, she was suffering so much with pain, and the doctor just said it was in her head, right? And then she found this protocol. She did this protocol, and it totally transformed her health and helped her heal, right? So when you detox out glyphosate and heavy metals and different things and parasites, and you clean out your body, and your colon's able to absorb actually nutrients, then it makes a huge difference. And let me just add somebody here. So when you detox and then you give your body super nutrients, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, it changes everything. Like, over time, we do a 90-day protocol, and over time, it makes a difference in your health. And we've seen that over and over and over. So that's why me and Jenna coordinated here together, because we're like, we're nurses. We need to help people, but you don't have to be a nurse to help people heal, right? You can help. You have to be a nurse to help people, unfortunately, get through the suffering and give medicines, but to help people heal, you don't. You can help anybody. It's just a story, which we're going to hear from Marty here, her story, and how she's transformed her health, and how, I don't have a huge story because I detoxed a little bit, but I've lost weight. Like, when you get older, you get this weight that starts to stick around the sides. So I just weighed myself, and I'm like, under 130. I've never been under that in like, since I was like maybe 30, but I was like, wow, like, and it's just from giving my body the right nutrients and not eating those preservatives, the foods that are so bad for you that are out there that is so accessible, right? We have so much food that's accessible that's not good for us. And so many people get into trouble with their health. So anyways, I just want to share that because that's why we're so passionate, right? We want to help people heal, and we have the tools. Like, I finally feel like I have the tools to help people. We all have the tools to share with people to change their lives. So anyways, go ahead, Marty.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate the invite. Miss Julie Perez, she is from Carlsbad, New Mexico. She's a sweet friend of mine. She's actually a wife of a very dear friend of mine. And they are starting on their ULT as soon as it gets there. And I'm really excited for their newfound health. I have always been, I was raised in a naturopathic family. And then when it came time for, I think around the age of 18, psych issues happened. And it was a hormone deficiency, hormone issues. And they just piled meds on me, and piled meds. And I went from 165 pounds up to 300 and something. And I woke up and I was foggy headed. And for most of my adult life, this past part, I have been trying to find homeostasis, getting back to that person I was before man-made medicine hit me hard. And from medication to medication, I've never done like weight loss medication, but I did go ahead and do the lap band surgery, and that helped so much. But what I was dealing with from that, even though it's not supposed to work with malnutrition, it did. I was extremely malnourished. I had massive hair fall. I'm just starting to grow my hair back again. And still working with massive amounts of malnutrition. And I didn't exactly have gut disorders, but like all these other little co-issues were coming up, like depression, anxiety, and sleeplessness. So what did my doctor do? Got to put you on this, got to put you on that, got to put you on this. And then I got to the point where my body, I needed a lumbar surgery. My lumbar was starting to have issues, and they're like, hey, let's do lumbar fusion. They sold me on it. I have been on pain meds for like the past 6 years, okay? Large amounts of pain meds and muscle relaxers. November of last year, I realized that sweet Allison was in Thailand by herself. And I was like, whoa, I've been following Allison for like 6 years before she even found Purium, like right on that cusp. And so I like watched her, and then I realized that she was over in a different country without Jared and everything. So I was like, wow, what's very important to me? Protein. I needed essential building blocks. So I went and I ordered the Super Amino 23s. And in a couple of months, I realized that my hair was growing. I had new hair growing in. The skin from losing weight and gaining weight and losing weight and gaining weight was just starting to tighten up. And I was like, I really need to try this ULT and see what it's all about. And within 3 weeks, I put down my readers. I wasn't needing eyeglasses to read anymore. My bowel movements were regular, like Dave said, floaty poops. And I was like, okay. And I just kept on going with it. And then I realized I don't think I need medication for depression because I'm like freaking happy all the time. And I don't think I realized, and I was never the type of person that took meds the way they were prescribed, except for like the psych meds. I was terribly afraid of not taking them as they were prescribed. But when it came to pain meds, I've never been a big fan. I realized I hadn't taken pain meds in like 2 weeks and was like, okay. Well, and that means something to me because when they done the lumbar fusion, they mangled the blood supply to my left femoral head in my hip. And so badly that I was in physical therapy trying to retrain that area. I had 2 steroid injections, one into the joint while I was awake, which is very disconcerting. And I was like walking around and doing my thing and inculcating Qigong in the morning, inculcating stretching and sun gazing. And yes, it sounds very hippie-ish, but there's a lot of free health modalities out there, even like singing at the top of your lungs, rolling your shoulders back and just making yourself really large and present. And having the food in my life, being able to cut out the medication for anxiety. Why? My gut's healthy. Okay. My serotonin is made in my gut. Serotonin is that happy, that's where our happiness comes from, right? So being able to get off of that, being able to get off of the pain meds, and I'm trying not to cry here, just to know it's happiness, being able to get off of muscle relaxers and pain meds. It's really like waking up. It's waking up and realizing that, yes, I am a mom, and I have been a wife, I have been a best friend, I have been all these things dumbed down and drugged. And not one of my doctors, even my weight loss doctor, they're all like, okay, what diets have you done? They didn't ask, what foods are you eating? They're all like, Jenny Craig, Predican, Weight Watchers, Atkins, and yes, I did all of these diets, which made my blood panels fluctuate tremendously. Like I was on statins for years because I'd done the Atkins diet, and it's all like searching. And I am off all of those meds. Now they're PRN. Okay. Yes. I mean, that means a lot to me. Because it's like I go into my doctor, my primary care physician, and she's all like, wow, you're not walking in pain. And she's like, your hair looks fantastic. And I was like, it's nutrition. It's proper nutrition. It's not malnutrition. And she's all like, so what meds do you want me to write a prescription for? I'm like, I don't feel a need for any of them. It's like sleeping 16, 18 hours a day due to depression. That hasn't happened with the ultimate lifestyle transformation. I have an increased sense of well-being. My ability to communicate has amplified, and my ability to get out of my comfort zone. Okay. It's all like when you are medicated, subconsciously, I never felt like I was truly who I was. So it made it harder for me to communicate with people. And since then, it's like, she's like, the last MRI, it showed that you have a new blood supply growing to your femur head. That's proper nutrition. When a body finds homeostasis, that's when we begin to heal. And homeostasis is very, very simple when we keep in mind, and I'm not trying to get spiritual or scriptural or anything, but the Bible says in Genesis, the Bible book Genesis, every plant is medicine, okay? And what I have brought into my life and what I'm sharing with people is sincerely the best way. It's the best gift anybody can give to themselves. And to have this in my life, I have lost 45 pounds, still going down. I don't want to be at 160. I'm a pretty big, tall girl, and I don't want to look like beef ribs. I want to look healthy. And even on my bad days, like if I do get a catch in my hip, because it still happens, I know that with my super aminos and the proper nutrition, I am continually building that lean muscle mass. I mean, shoot. I mean, that right there, yes, I have some softness, but that right there, that's muscle. That right there, that's muscle. And that's all through my body. That's all through my body. And, not having to go in right in this moment, like I was looking forward to having to go into hip surgery, hip replacement at 47. That's off the chart. That's not even being thought of anymore. I do have fibroid tumors in my uterus, and I have had them checked. They're actually smaller than they were 3 years ago. And that, yes, exactly. And that has a lot to do with a proper nutrition and staying consistent. And you were talking about, all the food that is available. Just because cigarettes are available over the counter does not mean one should partake. And just because all of the fluffy fillers and calories does not equate nutrition. Okay. We can eat a bowl of grape nuts with all the milk and all the sugar. That is not the nutrition that you're going to get in this